Rico Toro. Hope you're well, wherever you are. So, in this video, got a little bit of casino footage. And then I'm gonna go into some of my opinions and observations over the year. Old school Sosua versus new school. You know, don't think that I'm just gonna be bashing and it's all gonna be negative with the new school, because it's not. There is some positives. You know, like anything, I gotta give you both sides of the coin as I see it, based on real life experiences, personal observations. So, you know, the thing is, disclaimer, hit that thumbs up, by the way. Hit the thumbs up. Disclaimer is, these are just my opinions. I'm no expert. Some of you may agree. Some of you may disagree. It's perfectly okay to respectfully disagree. Don't get your panties all in a bunch if you disagree. Again, it's just my experiences and observations. So, hit that subscribe if you're brand new here. Rico Toro, Sosua, Dominican Republic. Stay tuned. Look at this shit. We parked in the boonies. The boonies. Lots are full. Not a lot of people in the streets, but the lots are full. Gotta come to the casino, I guess. Playa Chiquita. Everybody slept all day, came out late to the casino. Everybody came out late to the casino. Look at that. Full. Full. All those desperate acting young ladies, I'll say, and use that term loosely. Desperate as hell outside. Can't say they ain't got opportunities, because we know, look at the cars. We know that's opportunity for days. I'm not an economicist. Is that the word? It is now. Or rocket scientist. But I know they got opportunity. Yeah. Baby.
Ay, yo, Rico.
¿Qué es lo que?
Siempre. Todo bien. Hey.
Hey, ¿quién es?
Rico.
After our food right here. After our food here, get the fresh pork. Hola, ¿qué tal, hermano?
¿Estás conmigo?
Bien, bien.
¿Todo bien?
Sí,
Sí,
tú.
qué bueno.
Qué bueno.
¿Mi amigo? Claro. Sí. ¿Y tú también?
Sí,
Ok.
tú sabes.
Sí,
Esto es lo que hay.
Sí, ok. Hasta.
Fresh pork,
Ya.
papas, arroz, chicken, after hours, good late food, after the casino.
Comida es buena aquí.
We're like 17 blocks from there.
Everybody, how are you? Good night.
God said it's full.
Hey, you know life for you? I got it for you.
Yeah. Claro que sí, me gusta mucho, pero después, cuando cerraron. Oof. There we go. Just the hallway to the casino. We're not even in there. We're not even in there. That's just the hallway. So, old school Sosua versus new school Sosua. So, in no real particular order, I didn't draft the list. Usually I wing it and freestyle it, so that's what some people like about me. So, start off, and some of these things tie in together, all right? So, one of the things that comes to mind is the social aspect, the camaraderie. You know, I do think now there's more guys that come down in groups, and which can be good and bad, because sometimes when you're traveling and moving around in groups, you don't make the same efforts to socialize. And, you know, one friend of mine says that's because we're in the social media generation where people forgot how to go up and meet people, you know, or the interest in meeting new people, you know, shaking somebody's hand, starting a conversation with new people, you know, and I agree with that. And so, you know, you got, you know, when I came down here, I came for the first couple times, it was with like 2 or 3 other people. And usually we each met a lot of like, we made a lot of friends for future vacations and things, you know, off other guys staying, you know, at a hotel and stuff. And so I do think the social aspect has changed in that way. And, you know, whereas a lot of times, and also I think the nightlife in the venue has something to do with that, which I'm getting into. And lodging does also. Because when I first started coming down, you know, there were some guys that like to pool their money together and play roommates, grown men playing roommates on vacation, you know, sharing villas and such. I'm not knocking it, to each his own. Just entertainment. I'm just joking with some of y'all. So, you know, more guys like stay outside of the immediate area, whereas back in the day, we all like to stay close to the action. Sometimes we would be on the cheap with the lodging because we only plan to do 2 things in the hotel: boom, boom, and sleep. You know, but now a lot of guys, they're trying to create their own resort type feel. And like I said, each his own. You know, like I say, there were some guys that did like the villas before, you know, so that's not entirely new. There's just more of it now. And so I do think, though, you know, it does create sort of an ill economic perception. And it also creates sort of an ill social standard. I don't know, not standard, but just makes people a little less sociable when they're here. It's like they you know, try to bring everything to the villa, come out for a little bit, but then you're not really seeing the whole town for what it's worth, through good or bad. So then, you know, that leads me next into style. And you can say that, you know, in Sosua, really, you can really get away with like packing 2 wife beaters, a pair of swim trunks, and a pair of walk around shorts for like a 3-4 day trip. If that's how you choose to move, there's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, like I say, nothing is required, but I do believe that, you know, a lot of us old school dudes, you know, when we go out at night and things, we change clothes, we try to present ourselves a certain kind of way. And it's not so much for everybody else, but it, you know, it also makes, in my opinion, makes you feel a certain kind of way, you know? So, the men's style, but also the ladies' style, you know? As far as the ladies, I think they were a lot more individualistic with theirs before. Of course, they'd be chilling and relaxed in the daytime, but, they weren't all like buying Chino store spandex, 200 peso spandex everywhere, following each other, and I think we have a problem now where everybody's following. Everybody's a follower. Nobody wants to step out and just lead. We got everybody just the herd mentality, whether it's guys and girls. They just follow one another off what they think is cool or what they think, it's about. But but the ladies used to be a little more creative. They all had certain things. They went through the poodle dress era, where it's just the standard black fitted night dress, red, sometimes blue. And then they went through the catsuit era, like the zebra stripe catsuit era, and the glitter skirt era. But in general, though, you still would have many that had their own style. They could wear some nice jeans, fitted well, heels, and a blouse, and look sexy as hell. They were a little more creative, I think, back in the day. Now, again, we're more individualistic, less following, less herd mentality. And so, leads me kind of into, what's the other thing? Oh, the night venues. Well, back in the day, it was more like, and there's also a social aspect. See, I think when you have, when you do your drinking and hanging out in a bar, it brings people together more. It's a little more small, a little more, a little more close and impersonal. You got people, like everybody, different people tend to socialize a little more, and especially the girls get up and move around a little more freely, and so forth, and, it's just, to many parts, it's not our fault. I say us, I include me, or their fault. Part of it is, it's the governing bodies. Because I'll take Roomba for an example. Used to be the prime pregame spot. You could come up from the beach at like 3, 4 in the afternoon, and you could hear the reggaeton or dembow or bachata, merengue pumping. It just lets you know there's something going into my night. It's gonna be hot, fire. So then, people mingled about a little more. But now, now we got sort of just the cafeteria set up, I'm not knocking Room, but they have some good food, and I've had some good times there. But for me personally, I can't spend much time in there because it's like a cafeteria, It's like this table don't socialize with that table, this group, except from that group. People aren't mingling and socializing. And, you got, a friend of mine put it this way, and I agree. He says it's like the high school dance. Girls on one side, guys on the other. I'm just saying. It's kind of corny if you think about it. So, Bailey's, similar situation. Excellent food. I never knocked the menu there. Excellent food. But, again, cafeteria-like. So, the venues are different. You used to have a lot more party spots. You had like everything from Passions to Classicos to CMP to Diamond Bar to Mama Mama Cafe, Merengue, City Lights, the old Roomba, like I said, and a few more places even. The old Casino Disco, which is still open, still there. You don't got to go Playa Chiquita like everybody else. Be a leader. Don't always follow the group. So it's another thing, the nightlife. And like I say, I go back. Some of these changes, a lot of them, it's due to the governing bodies. So leads me into the next thing, the culture. The culture. And again, you don't have to learn Spanish. You don't have to learn bachata. You don't have to put a collared shirt on or pants to go out at night. You don't have to. But these are things I learned quickly, make me feel a certain kind of way about myself, and it enhances my experiences. And most people that tend to move similarly as I do would agree. You'll never regret learning a new language. You'll never regret learning new skills, be they socially, be they just expanding your horizons. You'll never regret that. Is it required? No. But you certainly won't regret it. It can only help you. And in the earlier days, you know, I was talking to somebody yesterday that's been coming since 2004. I've been coming since 2008. Once in a while, you'll meet someone that's been coming since World War II, since the Jewish first settled at Thorn Sosua. In case you guys don't know, there's a lot of Jewish history in Sosua. See, I know a little something. It's not just all babble. So, but we had guys, you know, guys that I first started traveling with. We wanted to learn the language a little bit, you know. And I'm not a native speaker. I didn't learn growing up. I didn't have family to teach me. I'm the only one in my family that speaks a decent amount of Spanish. And I'm still working on it. And, you know, but we wanted to learn the language a little bit. We wanted to know the artists, you know, some of the Dominican and Latin artists, you know. Well, I was learning a lot of them just living in Newark because, in my opinion, a lot of American music became garbage, like in the mid-2000s. So I was already learning who the reggaeton artists were, you know, some of the, you know, bachata, merengue music. I was already learning it just because it interested me. So, but, you know, some guys now, they couldn't tell you who Romeo Santos is. They couldn't tell you the difference between El Alfa and Prince Royce. And that's kind of sad if you've been coming here a while and don't know the difference of that, in my opinion. So not that you got to know, but I'm just saying that when I first started coming, it was a big cultural difference in that sense. Guys wanted to learn the dance. They wanted to learn the language. They wanted, and the girls wanted to teach them. The girls wanted to teach guys about the culture. You know, they wanted to, you know, be involved in your progression from trip to trip. And which, you know, now more girls are learning English, and guys are comfortable in just letting them learn English, or spoon feeding them. You know, I mean, you know, American music is global now, so too. But you know, I think guys rather the girls learn, you know, American culture than try to learn a new culture, even though we're the ones that are guests in their country. You know, so there's a certain entitlement on both sides, both guys and girls. And I'm not getting into the economics. I'm not going to sit here and say that New York, Atlanta, or any group of people ruin things, because that's not true. Because I first started coming down here from New York and New Jersey, and I came down and knew a lot of people, and still know a lot of people that come down from up there that know how to move. They respect the culture, they respect the land, and they don't have incidents and issues. So I don't buy into that New York messed up Sosua either. You know, maybe it was Southern rappers. I don't like Southern rap music, I really don't. But maybe that messed up Sosua, I don't know. I'm kind of kidding, but, you know, take it for what it's worth. My opinion again, that's it. So, you know, you can talk about, you know, what else is there? There's culture, there's style. You know, I'm not going to get into the economics. One of the positives I will say is there are greater networking opportunities now. It's a good thing. You know, you got some, you know, it's hard to tell who's legit and who's not. But, you know, there are some guys doing big things here, you know, coming down and making real investments, you know, into the community, you know, into the area. And, you know, I mean, there's a positive and negative about that, but like I say, to those guys that find success, you know, in a foreign country, doing legit business, I take my hat off to them. And you know, so there's more people you can learn from coming down, more where you can learn different things that you might not have typically learned on vacation, such, you know, as like investing here, real estate, and shout out to Philly Don, by the way. Real estate is not my lane or my area of expertise, but he put me on the spot and it turned out to be an okay interview, most people would say. So shout out to him. Also shout out to Rome Will. Shout out to Live Life. A couple cool vloggers that are on the ground now. You know, I'm sure you guys have already checked out their channels, but if you haven't, check them out, show them some love. So I can make a lot more comparisons between old school and new school, and it's all subjective, but just something for you guys to think about. So stay well, stay blessed.